Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. 15 minutes to fix your posture? Yes, this is possible if you practice these few exercises each day, using the foam roller with dynamic and static stretches to open up that chest wall. You'll move better and stand taller, having released that tension in the upper back. So let's get started. Begin by sitting at the very end of your roller, tailbone on the roller, and then we're going to slowly, gently go all the way back down. And when you come down onto the roller longwise, make sure the back of your head is completely supported on that roller. It's not hanging off the back edge. If your head doesn't reach the roller, you can always throw a pillow or a small little towel underneath so your head is comfortable. Fingertips on the floor, and feet are going to be about hip distance apart, and the knees are going to be bent. Feet flat on the floor, and then we're going to take our belly button, and I want you to push it into the roller. So you're doing a little bit of a pelvic hip tilt, so that way we contract those abs, we support that low back, and then we're going to reach the arms all the way up to the sky, and then relax your shoulders. Feel them pulling slightly away from those ears, and when you do that, you might feel the shoulder blades wrap around that roller a little more. Then we're going to take the right hand and reach it way over your head, and take the left hand and reach it to your hip. And just lengthen through the right side of the body. Take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, switch sides. So left arm goes overhead, right arm goes to the hip, and then we're going to now alternate. And as you're alternating, you are loosening up the shoulders and massaging along those shoulder blades, right along the inside. Each time you reach, you'll go a little further, stretching it out a little more. You never want to force anything, but this is really going to help loosen up those back muscles. So when we have bad posture, or we're just rounded, or even just not even if it's not bad, but we're at a computer or a desk a lot, we get somewhat rounded, and our upper back muscles get lengthened and weak, and our chest muscles get tight. So we're going to loosen that up, and we're going to expand and improve that posture. So we're going to bring the arms all the way up to the sky now. Palms face each other. And then we're going to open wide to a T. The backs of the hands are towards the floor. And now you're going to sweep the arms, keeping the backs of the hands on the floor, like snow angels. Sweep them wide and up over your head, and then sweep them out to your side, down by your hips, and then back up. So snow angels. And it's a slow and controlled movement, not crazy challenging or hurting anything or forcing anything. So sweep those arms. And just notice again what's going on. Maybe you feel some knots in one shoulder blade more than the other underneath. Maybe you feel tightness in one arm or armpit, and you might even feel it more in the chest wall. And we're breathing in and out. So we're going to do a few more of these. And then last one. And then we're going to end with both hands reaching overhead, palms are up. And then you're going to bend your elbows, but keep the hands as close to the floor as you can. Elbows come down and wide like cactus arms, down towards your rib cage. And then slide the hands straight and back up overhead. And then bend the elbows, pull them in again like cactus arms. And then press them up. Now you might feel something in the shoulder or the arm, the upper arm, if you have any rotator cuff or bicep or tricep issues. Just slowly work up and down, not forcing it again, and see if you can loosen things up. It also helps our range of motion when we reach. One more. And then we're going to pull the elbows down towards the rib cage and just let them rest in the air. Or if you are maybe your chest is already open and you don't have too much of an issue with flexibility, you can let your hands slowly melt towards the floor, the back of your hands. I'm pretty tight here, so my hands are not hitting the floor. And you might be feeling that stretch through the chest wall, which is what we want. So we want to open up that chest by stretching out and releasing the fascia tissue. And check in with the head. Your back of your head is on the roller and your chin just slightly tucked under. So you're also stretching a little bit of that back of that neck, but it's pushed into the roller. Just feel the opening, and then one more breath, and then you're going to take your arms, you're going to extend them straight out to the side like a T, the back of your hands on the floor, and again, stretching out, maybe lengthen the arms a little further, push them away from your body, so you're getting more of a stretch in the biceps. And just feel that nice stretch, and when you're real tight in the chest and the biceps, you can feel that as you open up, let that tissue release, because you can't do a whole lot of strengthening. You can strengthen the back, upper back, but it's going to be very resistant if you're so tight in the chest that nothing wants to happen. So we want to open up that chest, relax and release the muscle and the fascia tissue, and then eventually start working on upper back strength. Lat pulls, band pulls and rolls, things like that. All right, so then from here, we're going to slowly rotate those hands down by the hips, fingertips on the floor. See if you can get your elbows all the way down on the floor. Pull the belly in. Go ahead, lift your head slightly up to look between your knees, and then we're going to roll off the side of the roller, and we're going to come all the way up to a seated position. Now we're going to take that roller behind us, and we're going to go all the way back down, and we're going to lay the head on the back of the head on the roller and the neck. So part of opening up and helping our posture is just to tilt to the, let's tilt to the left side of our head, and then just do a nod yes and no. So you're massaging out the base of the skull on the side. All that connective tissue goes down into the upper back and the front of the chest, down the neck, and can cause our head to jet forward. If we're used to looking forward at that computer or down at the phone, go ahead and change sides. Go to the right, a little nod yes and no. Massaging it out. So you can be up on the head, you can be down a little bit more into the neck, as long as you're not hitting that vertebrae, the cervical vertebrae. And then back to center, and then drop your knees to one side. You're just going to roll all the way back up to a tabletop position, and your roller's going to be in front of you. So you're going to have your knees slightly apart, and just start to let your hips sink back towards your heels like you're going into a child's pose, and then you're going to place the forearms on the roller. Thumbs are up. You're going to keep your hips backwards, and then just slide your hands forward as you look forward at your hands, feeling the armpit stretch, and then drop your chin towards your chest, and then lift the upper body as you roll that roller slightly towards you again. As you're pushing or pulling the roller in, pull the shoulders down. So you lengthen through the neck, and then slide forward again, and then lengthen and lift. We're breathing through this, and again. So maybe you're getting a little further each time. So again, you're improving your range of motion, not only in your shoulders, but your whole thoracic spine, the chest, opening things up. One more time. And slide it down. Hopefully you noticed you got a little further, and then we're going to come back up, place both hands on that roller. We're going to shift up a little bit, enough that we can tuck our toes under, so we can sit a little bit higher up on those, on your heels. From here, you're going to walk the roller forward, and you're going to lengthen through that spine. Keep your left hand on the roller, and now take your right hand and reach it to the sky. Get a little bit of a twist, and breathe, feeling that nice upper back stretch. Now take that right hand, you're going to come underneath, palm is up, you're going to thread the needle. You're going to slide it all the way under that left arm, and then as you do, lower your right shoulder to the floor, you're going to reach and roll that roller out in front of you with that left hand. So not only are you getting a shoulder stretch, but a armpit and that left arm stretch. Now, if you can't reach the floor with your head, that's okay. You can just stay here. You can also untuck your feet if it gets too much, or if you want to sink a little deeper to the floor. Or you can keep the toes tucked and lower the shoulder. Let's wiggle the right fingertips that are on the floor. And then slowly when you come up, roll the roller closer to you, reach that right arm up again. And then bring it back down onto the roller. That right arm is on the roller, right hand. Let's lift that left arm up. Get a nice twist. Notice the difference. And then thread it underneath. Thread the needle. Roll that roller out in front of you, keeping that right hand on the roller. So now you're stretching out through the armpit. And then wiggle those left fingers. And breathe. Just a fun new way to get ourselves moving. And then slowly come back up. Let's try reaching it one more time. Up. Rotate that left arm. And then back to center. We're going to untuck the toes. Bring the forearms back to that roller. Thumbs up. Let's see how our range of motion is. Slide into it. See how much easier that feels. And then come up long, tall. Bring your arms nice and wide now on that roller. You can separate your knees a little further. Now I'm going to keep the right arm straight, but I'm going to bend the left arm, and I'm going to shift my body to the left and just stretch through that right chest wall and into that right arm as you sink your body to the floor to the left. And then very slowly come up and transition to the other side. Stretching out through the chest, the bicep. And then come all the way back up. We're going to come back to our hands and knees. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to take that foam roller, we're going to place it nice and tall in front of us so we have a stable point. You can always use a chair if you feel like the roller's not a good stability for you, you want more. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the left foot forward and bring it close to the roller. And we're going to have it as our stability point. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shift our hip towards the roller, and at the same time take the right arm and lift it up, and then we're going to come back to neutral, bring the arm to shoulder level. Then the right arm's going to open up as we shift the hip towards that roller, and then come back and lift up again. So you're really opening up through that whole right hip flexor, the torso, and come back to neutral, and then open again. And see if you can get a little bit of a twist, and then come back. And then hinge forward. So our focus here is that back right hip. Make sure your left knee is not going over the toe, and then hinge and rotate. And then back to center. Shall we try the other side? So then you're going to take that right foot. I'm just going to turn around so you can continue. See, right foot is next to the roller. Knee is on the floor, and your hip is either a little over the knee or a little in front. You're holding on to that roller. You're going to hinge the hip towards the roller, lift the left arm up, and then come back to neutral, and then open up that left arm. Reach it open, and come back, and then lift up and open, and then to the side, and breathe and notice the difference. One side might not go as far as the other. That's okay. Let's do one more. Come back to neutral. Inhale, lift, hinge, and then open to the side. And then release. Go ahead and place that roller behind us, and then just have a seat for a moment. Let's check in with our posture. So we're going to sit nice and tall. Just see how things feel. Line up that chin, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. See if you're leaning forward, and if you can lean back a little. And the key is to not let that head go forward. Pull it into alignment. So hopefully you feel a little taller, a little better stretch. Another one that we don't have a doorway right here. So what you would do often is to put your hands in a narrow doorway and then just lean into it, or the corner, a wall, and just lean into it with the arms on the edges. That's really going to help open up that chest. You can go different levels, like you can go high arms, medium, and you can even do the arms wide and low. Great way to open up that chest. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining today. Namaste.